Shrihi, Glory of Paduka Sahasram. It was composed by Swami Desikan. Sahasram means thousand, countless, and infinite. Sri Paduka is the sacred sandals of Emperor and it is the crown jewel of the world. It rests on the head of the truly great and the eminent. Paduka Sahasram has 32 Paddhatis. Paddhati means path, route, or way. A liberation from samsara. Bharata or Srimad Ramayana was the first to declare its unique greatness. Bharataya param namostu tasmai pratamodhaharanaya bhakti bhajam yadupagnyam aseshata prithivyam pritito raghava paduka prabhavaha. Swami Desikan composed Paduka Sahasram in a span of a single night and yet compared it to piglets in comparison to his competitors' huge elephant cubs of only 300 slokas. Sri Paduka Sahasram was the spontaneous outpouring subsequent to the divine touch of Sri Chatari in Sri Rangam temple, which resonates with the divine touch of Panchajanya on the cheek of the great devotee of Emperor Dhruva of the North Pole fame in the era gone by. The 32 Paddhati of Paduka Sahasram corresponds with the 32 Brahma Vidyas, which deals with the knowledge of the Supreme Being. Since it is arduous and not all are eligible for it, Swami Desikan, out of compassion and the soft corner for the underdog, composed Paduka Sahasram so that the benefits could accrue to the deserving. So let's see what's in it for us. The beginning of each Paddhati commences with a prayer for protection and simultaneously praises Paduka Devi. It is known as Agra Mani Mala. Paduka Sahasram was originally composed on Panguni Revati, which is Nampermal's star. On this day, even today, the devote recite the entire 1000 verses with aplomb for its mesmerizing effects on its reciters, whoever they may be. A shift in energy from unhappiness to happiness, for it dispels gloom and doom. Swami Desikan declared Paduka Devi is an alchemist turning base metal into gold. Of course, it's not easy to capture the essence or do justice to this monumental magnum opus work in a short span of time. It is possible only to have a glimpse or peep into the greatness of this magnificent devotional work. Paduka Sahasram is also known as Prapati Shastra, just as Srimad Ramayana is known as Sharanagati Shastra. This Mahakavya abounds in metaphors, similes, alliterations, poetic fancy, utpreksha, pun, slesha, and double meanings. Paduka Sahasram combines Vishishtadvaita philosophy, religion, stotra of literary excellence of the highest order. Why was it composed and for whom was it composed? Primarily to make it available so that Emperumat's abundant blessings is available to one and all through the medium of Paduka Sahasram. We know Paduka is also known as Shatari, which is reverentially received and placed on the head in Sri Vaishnava temples. To some extent, it is possible to delve into each Paddhati and see what's in store for us. At the very outset, the first Prasthana Paddhati, introduction, Swami Desikan, an Acharya par excellence, makes it amply clear that Paduka Sahasram stands on par with Srimad Ramayana. It was Bharata who ensured that not only he but all generations to come must know the greatness of Paduka Devi, for Sri Paduka Devi ensures the world's yoga shema. In stunning humility, Swami Desikan declared, Paduka alights on my lowly head as well as in the crown of the Vedas without any discrimination. In a profound way, undoubtedly, this is the essence of Sanatana Dharma, which is unfairly being maligned today. The second Paddhati is Samakya, which means name. Paduka Devi is referred to by the names of Shatagopa, Satyajit, Shatari, and Shataripu. Paduka Sahasram also alludes to Swami Nammalvar, also known as Shatagopa, in recognition of his splendid work, Tiruvayamozhi. The etymology of the word Shatagopa refers to Shata, which means an air of ignorance which covers the fetus when it comes into contact with the external world. One who has conquered my wayward heart is Shatari, declares Swami Desikan. His penchant for self-depreciation is rather difficult for us to emulate. In this Paddhati, the preeminent aspect is Seshi Sesha Bhava. Sesha means that which exists for the sake of another. Seshi, Emperman. Third Paddhati is Prabhava, which means glory. Is it possible to know Paduka Devi's glory? Yes and no. And it's a big if the sky becomes the writing pad, 7 oceans together becomes the ink, and if the writer is Sri Ranganatha himself, it is possible. It was Paduka Devi who witnessed the noble deeds of Empermans Tiruvadi, such as restoration of Ahalya to her pristine purity, and with wonder watched Sri Krishna, forgetting his own greatness, go as a messenger of the devoted Pandavas in order to give peace a chance. Not only Nityasuris, but Devas and humans carry Paduka Devi on their heads and thereby obliterate the effects of misdeeds, past, present, and future. Paduka Devi recommends the path of total surrender to Sri Ranganatha. The fourth Paddhati, Samarpana, which means giving away, offering, or entrusting. Sri Rama wore Padukas and infused his power to Paduka Devi. Of course, Sri Rama remains complete or Purnam, for he is Purnamadham, Purnamidham, as Isavasya Upanishad declares. Subsequently, Paduka Devi became the personification of compassion and forgiveness and ensured the well-being of Ayodhya citizens who were unconsolable on being separated from Sri Rama. By bestowing Paduka Devi, Bharata's grief was removed, and it became verily a Ram Rajya for the inhabitants of Ayodhya. Fifth Paddhati, Pratiprasthana, implies coming back, returning, or getting back. When Paduka Devi was in Ayodhya, what was the people's reaction? They felt Paduka Devi had greater concern for them than even Sri Rama, and that Paduka Devi was even more loyal to Sri Rama than Sita herself. To remove this doubt, they saw Sita Devi in Paduka Devi, as Sita Devi, being the avatar of Mahalakshmi, bestowed all-round prosperities on the citizens of Ayodhya. We know Vedas is feminine gender and decorations are natural. What better way to decorate the Vedas than Paduka Devi being its crowning glory? Despite her greatness, Paduka Devi looks after her devotees like a cow towards its calf. Paddhati 6 is Adhikara Parigraha, which means taking over the reins of governance or administration. So, how did Bharata look after the kingdom? In matters big and small, he would report to Paduka Devi and then deal with it righteously. Sri Rama was relieved that in Ayodhya it was Paduka Rajyam on par with Ram Rajyam. In fact, Swami Desin goes to the extent of saying Sri Rama wanted to worship Paduka Devi and so took the form of Bharata himself. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha were attainable by all the citizens of Ayodhya. Abhisheka Paddhati is the seventh Paddhati, the Tirmanjanam and the splendid coronation of Paduka Devi by Bharata. What was the outcome of Abhisheka? It established Krita Yuga in Treta Yuga. By Tirmanjanam, earth was watered by the Tirtham of Paduka Devi, and hence it yielded tons of gold, rain, and food grains. There was no drought or famine. Swami Deshmukha's incisive perception is obvious when he says Bharata, Lakshmana, and even Sita Devi flouted Sri Rama's order when they were told to remain in Ayodhya. But Paduka Devi implicitly obeyed Sri Rama's command and ruled Ayodhya. Paddhati 8 is Niryatana or giving away of the sacred sandals by Bharata to Sri Rama. The happy tidings of Sri Rama's return to Ayodhya was conveyed by Hanuman. We know it was Sri Rama's arrows that killed the demons, but Swami Desikan goes to a step further and says it was Paduka Devi who put down the Rakshasas and raised the good and gentle ones to lofty heights. Not only Sita Devi, but also Tara and others who knew Sri Rama to be the supreme being worshipped Paduka Devi. Today in Sri Rangam, Nampermal wears Paduka, and Swami Desikan remarks that he does wear it with not only gentleness but also with reverence as he remembers the Kainkaryam done by Paduka Devi during Rama Avataram. Paddhati 9 is Vaitalika Paddhati, described as early awakeners from Suprabhadam to Sayanam. This Paddhati is about the manifold Kainkaryam that's offered to Sri Ranganatha and Nampermal in Sri Rangam temple. The very first thing in the morning for Nampermal is to wear the Padukas and accept the Kainkaryams from the Sayana chamber to Asthana Mandapam, assembly hall, and from there to Snapanam Mandapam where Tirmanjanam is performed. The 16 upacharas are offered in Nirajana Asanam. According to Shastras, we are supposed to approach Emperor as one would approach a king, an emperor, for he is the undisputed Lord of the three worlds. Paddhati 10 is about Shrinkara, Prema, in its pristine form. Sri Ranganatha is the personification of Shrinkara, of a lofty nature which few can comprehend, for it is beyond the three gunas, Shuddha Sattvam. Sri Ranganatha's Tiruvadi is the crest jewel of the Upanishads, but to Paduka Devi it's akin to a playful lotus-like toy for sport, both in Leela Vibhuti and Nitya Vibhuti. The divine Padukas are considered to be on par with Lakshmi, Bhumi and Neela Devi. In fact, Sri Ranganatha depends on Paduka Devi for his unique gait, which enchants the devout. Swami Desikan says, by constantly being in touch with the divine feet of Sri Ranganatha, Paduka Devi resonates the divine fragrance of Vedas and is even superior to Vaijayanti Mala, which adorns Sri Ranganatha's chest. Paddhati 11 is Sanchara, on the move too during Utsavam Parapadam. Nampermal makes himself available and accessible to all, including the lame and the sick. Sri Ranganatha descended from Brahmaloka to Ayodhya at the behest of Paduka Devi for the welfare of devotees and settled once and for all in Sri Rangam. Paduka Devi could manifest according to the various sides of Emperman's Tiruvadi as seen in Vamana and Trivikrama Avataram. It was Paduka Devi who converted a stone into Ahalya, and in Sri Krishna Avataram protected his feet by doing away with the several asuras sent by Kamsa. Next Paddhati is the 12th one, Pushpa Paddhati, worship of Paduka Devi with variety of flowers. Devas worship Emperman with flowers of divine fragrance. So who receives it eventually? It settles down on Paduka Devi, whose splendor increases manifold times. The similarity between Swami Nammalvar and Paduka Devi aligns majestically with Vakula flowers of Swami Nammalvar and the flowers of Paduka Devi. Even Brahma and Shiva worship Paduka Devi and thereby are secure in their exalted positions. Does Paduka Devi expect worship of flowers? Not necessarily. For Paduka Devi bestows unconditional grace on her bhaktas, irrespective of their status in life. Paddhati 13 is Paraga, which means pollen of flowers, or sacred dust particles. It spreads all over during Sri Ranganatha's Sanchara. The benefits that accrue to those who are recipients of the sacred particles purifies body and makes it disease-free and removes disturbances of the mind. The threefold afflictions caused by fellow human beings, nature and oneself are done away with. Rajas also means dust, but this rajas or dust particles does away with Rajaguna and Tamoguna so widely prevalent today. Swami Deskan says, it is actually the dust particles of Paduka Devi that destroyed enemies and thereby consequently converting Emperuman's weapons into ornaments. Paddhati 14 is not a Paddhati sound. It's the ancient Omkara Pranavam that Paduka Devi emits. For us the sound conveys Sri Ranganatha's Abhayam, do not fear. Paduka Devi inquires of the bhaktas whether the Supreme Being Sri Ranganatha is more delightful, Bhogyam, in the Leela Vibhuti or in the Nitya Vibhuti. Now what's the matter? Paduka Devi is sometimes silent and does not produce any sound at all. Well, the reason is simple. It allows Emperman to listen to the Samaveda, as also when the Divya Dampati are in conversation as to how best to protect the universe, characterized by the animate and the inanimate. Paduka Devi remains a quiet witness. Paddhati 15, Samanya Paddhati, deals with the Ratnas, precious stones of various colors. What's the function of Ratnas embedded in the Padukas of Sri Ranganatha? It captures the minds and hearts of onlookers and raises them to the sattvic mode of existence. Ignorance is the greatest sin, says Sita Devi in Sundarakandam. How to get rid of this ignorance? Don't worry. The light emitting from Sri Ranganatha's Paduka does away with this ignorance and its consequences. Fear of death is done away with, and the mumukshu, on quitting the body, obtains a Shuddha Sattvam body when it progresses on its journey to Vaikuntham. Being privy to the privacy of the Divya Dhampati, Paduka Devi serves as a magnificent light, an eternal lamp in a temporary transient world. Paddhati 16 is Bahuratna, the many gems and the precious stones that adorn Paduka Devi are described. Emperman takes on different colors during the 4 yugas. white, red, green, and black in Kali Yuga. How are the gold and iron chain representing the punya and papam of living beings done away with? Presto! The pearls and Indranila gems of Paduka Devi ensures we are freed from this bondage which is otherwise inescapable. Swami Deskin's penchant for poetic fancy is evident when he says, the 9 precious gems are akin to the 9 continents of the earth which emerged from Empermon's Tiruvadi and hence are paying homage to the place of origin. You and I know we would be glad to have a happy diversion once in a way. Does Sri Ranganatha also desire that? Yes, for Swami Deskin declares, devoid of fear and out of ignorance, I am presenting a humorous diversion for Sri Ranganatha by composing Paduka Sahasram. With this, I conclude the first part of Paduka Sahasram. Do tune in to the second part, which will be sent later. It will cover the Paddhati from the 17th to the 30th Paddhati and with that the Pala Shruti. Stuti. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.